This week, something slightly different. I'm going to work on the R56 Mini. Hi guys, welcome to the Mini. Today it's getting some attention for a long-term boot switch problem that I have. I've always had to use the key fob to open the boot recently, in that the switch on the outside just doesn't operate. So that switch needs replacing. Now, to replace the entire unit, that is also the number plate lights and the whole piece of trim, it's about 80 quid, which is not insignificant. So I thought, well, for the sake of 80 quid and a little bit of investigation and some time, I thought I'd try and repair it myself. I've seen the videos online about how to do it. However, I don't like the way that they destroy the weather shield to the switch. So I thought I'd try it coming at the back. The other reason I'm doing this video is that I'm waiting for some parts for the Midget. So I can't continue the work that I had started on that, so I'm just slipping this video in to give me a bit more time. There's a lot of problems with the boot switch on the R56 and other variants of that era, and the switch just stops working. The switch actually just breaks apart, lots of little pieces, and taking off the welded plastic panel on the back is a bit of a pain to do, but it means you can get to the circuit board and actually properly replace the switch. I bought some new little contact switches, little tactile switches. Put a link in the description where I got mine from. What I'll do now is just show you how I did it. Okay, what we've got here is the number plate light boot switch. Put it in the vise so the handle's under here. This part here has had the body coloured panel removed. Carefully remove that so we can put it back on. And this is a section that's welded, plastic welded on. I've started to take it off. So we're going up and down, heating it up. Just taking the screwdriver and rising it up underneath. And eventually it lifts up. And reveal the circuit board underneath. Now the circuit board's held down with little sort of tabs here, so they just lifted up. They then just slide out, and we get the circuit board. And here is the remnants of the switch. There's a new switch, which we're going to unsolder this switch. And then the tabs look about the right size. And then refit that, and then check that the actuating action of the button. There we go, new switch is soldered onto the printed circuit board. I had trouble getting the solder off the old switch, so I managed to get it out by desoldering it, but I ended up with solder in the holes. I had to use a 1mm drill bit to get those out to get this back in, but that's in, and then that goes back into here. Mine's just sort of sliding in the sides. Tuck the other end in. It sits down, so that's in position. And then the switch should be over here. That's operating the microswitch. So what's left to do now is just reattach the cover on the back side. I think I'll just use a hot glue on that. It's a bit warped after heating, so I'm going to try and flatten it out first. A bit more heat, and then glue that down, clamp it. But I have managed to retain the button, so from the outside it looks no different. Okay, putting it back together again then. I've got a hot glue gun, just going to take this board back in. Just a little note about the connector on the number plate lights and switch unit is it looks like it separates here, and this looks like you press the button here and push this down and then this separates here, but actually it's this end part. So when you first look at it, it's a bit of a weird arrangement. It's almost like it's a
homogenation of a few different BMW parts. But yeah, this is the break point at the end here, not here. And this is just loose. It feels like you've broken it. And it's just wires, and this is just sort of locating it ever so slightly here in this hole. It's really not doing very much. I mean, you don't need this plastic bit, it does actually come off. But yeah, just a note, don't worry if it wobbles around a lot. Right, now we're going to get on with the welding. Okay, I'm going to quickly run the glue around and then add the lid, so the lid's just going to pop straight back down again once you've got some glue on. This is potentially exposed to the elements, so I do want this to seal back down again. So here we go, put some glue gun down. There we go, I think that's sat down nicely. It's really stuck on anyway. So I just got that temporarily back in place. It's just resting on, plugged it back in, press the button, it opens. Perfect. So all I've got to do now is refit the coloured section. Clips back on top. This was glued on as well. We've got the little glue pads here, here, here and here, so I'll just put some contact adhesive on that one. It looks like a Evo stick kind of material on there. So, and then that should go on top, and then just re-screw that back on. So disconnect that for the moment. It just disconnects here like that. So you're left with that part. Right, okay, that's all tested. We know that works, so all I'm going to do now is just apply some contact adhesive to the contact points for the body coloured section and the boot switch. So just going to stick some dollops on here, just to hold it, stop it vibrating, that sort of thing. I was obviously there for a reason from BMW. And then I just click back the body cutter section. You've got the little tabs around the edge. I didn't show you taking it off, but it's just got to be careful and gentle that these little tabs don't get broken. Sort of goes in here. On the front. Well, that's all just clipped into place. Anyway, that is body colour section put back on. I've got repair hidden underneath this section. This button's still intact, still waterproof. It's a bit messy, but it's old. It's 10 years old now. The switch is working. Just refit the lights, number plate lights, so they're a sort of push and slide. That's that way round. Put it in, just push it back and it clicks and it slides back. So to remove that, put the screwdriver or something like that in that tab, twist it, it moves sideways, and then you lift it up and it pings out. Obviously putting back is a bit easier. Put that in first. The other side just clicks in. Now refit all the fixings. So T20 tool required to do these up and undo them. T20 Torx bit. And that's it. All mended.
Really pleased how that worked out. That's worked nicely, so we're back on the road with a working boot now. Thank you very much for watching. Hope that made sense. A bit different. We will do other cars on the channel, and the Mini is one of the cars that we will do a bit more on. So that's about it for this episode. Thank you very much for watching. Do subscribe and see you soon. Cheers.